Hey there, YTPC. It's your boy Cosmo, Cat Dad Piper. Hope you're doing well whenever you see this. Recording this on Monday night, it's actually got up to about 49 degrees outside, which might be a record for this time of year. But then they're talking 5 to 8 inches of snow in 2 days, so take it when you get it, I guess. Tonight I got my Bing's favorite, Savinelli. Normally I would smoke crooner in this. Just as a principle, I guess. But the crooner hasn't been hitting me too well lately, so in this I am smoking some Rattray's Sir William, which I've only had maybe one or two other times and still trying to figure it out. Well, that's not why I'm here. I'm doing a little VR. My good buddy Brad, the Bearded Piper. If you're not subbed, I'll have a link down below in the bucket. Give him some YTPC SUB love. Tell him Cosmo sent you. Great guy. Got to know him quite a bit more chatting through Facebook. We have very similar preferences in pipes and tobacco. But he's doing a little gaw. He's celebrating 500 subscribers, which is an awesome milestone. Congratulations, Brad. Well deserved. Love your content. Love your channel. You're very well spoken. And a little jealous that you live that close to Puxatawny. Because Groundhog Day is probably my favorite holiday after Halloween and Christmas. Actually, it might be just after Halloween, but someday I hope to go to Woodstock, Illinois for Groundhog Day, which is the filming location of the movie. Which, speaking of the movies, for the GAW, he asked to answer 1, 2, or both questions that he had. Because in his New Year's resolution video, he talked about wanting to read more. So the first question he asked is, what's a book that we would recommend? If you're not a reader, give a TV or a movie. I'm going to give you all of that, so don't worry. So first of all, book. I'm going to give you 2 books. Now, it's been some time since I've read either of these. I don't read nearly as much as I like to anymore, since I had some eye issues back around 2010. I enjoy reading, but it just takes me forever. First book, and this is probably my favorite book of all time, and pardon me, this keeps going out because I'm talking too much. It is an American literary classic. It was a required reading for me freshman year in my AP English. But I've read it at least 3 or 4 times, if not more. And that is The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Prohibition-era story. It's been made into a movie 3 times. I prefer the original. But with Robert Redford. I just think it's a great book. Lots of symbolism. I'm a big fan of the Roaring '20s, Prohibition, that whole era as far as style, fashion, kind of party culture. So if you haven't read that, check it out. If you have read it and it's been a while, maybe give it a reread. second book I'm going to recommend was also made into a movie. I read it 3 or 4 times, but it's been probably a good 20, 25 years since I've read it. And that is The Pelican Brief by a kind of crime, drama, action writer, John Grisham. Also made The Firm, The Client, probably a half dozen other movies with 1-word, 2-word legal term titles. Like I said, it was made into a movie with Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington. Decent movie. It's been forever since I've watched it, so I couldn't give you a further opinion on it, but the book was, of course, way better. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's my favorite of the 3 or 4 Grisham books I read. And I said you're also looking for TV shows and movies. I'm going to give you a short list for TV shows, partially because I don't know what you have for streaming services, and I'm a streamer. And you can always message me. You know how to get a hold of me, and I'll give you a list that'll keep you going for probably a year or 2. If you have not watched the series Ozark on Netflix, it's a masterclass in acting. It's a terrific kind of drama with some suspense, action, a little bit of violence. About a family that gets more or less forced into moving to the Ozarks from the big city and doing some money laundering for a Mexican drug lord. That's all I need to say. Check it out. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, it's totally different. Kind of gives you the same feel. Great show. Worth watching. I think there's 5 seasons. The series is done, so you can watch through all of it. Now, movies. Maybe some old movies. We're going to give you some new movies. Of course, I'm a big Back to the Future fan. I've got the DeLorean tattooed on my arm. Also grew up loving, as I mentioned before, Groundhog Day. Now, I trust you've seen Shawshank Redemption. If you haven't, put it on the list. But these are 3 movies that are maybe a little lesser known. Best movie I've ever seen. Maybe not my favorite, but the best movie I've ever seen. Definitely in the top 5 movies for me. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Don't want to give a whole lot away, but it stars Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet. But Winslet plays the more Jim Carrey type character, while he plays more of a subdued, shy character. So if you're saying, hey, I'm not a fan of Jim Carrey, check this out. It might change your mind. Great story, great script by Charlie Kaufman. I love all of his. He needs to write more movies. And the filmography, practical effects, love it. It's got a lot to say about certain aspects of life. Number 2, kind of in the same vein, a comedic actor. Doesn't always rub people the right way. But this is a little bit different for him. Again, this is one of my favorite movies. Stranger Than Fiction, starring Will Ferrell. Also has Dustin Hoffman, Queen Latifah, Emma Thompson? Yes, I think. And Maggie Gyllenhaal. Great movie. Basic premise. It's a comedy. A little bit of romance. This author writes these stories where she kills off the hero at the end of each story. She's working on her next book. All of a sudden, somebody by the same name can hear, like in his head, the narration. And so he's real life. The things that she's writing and narrating is actually happening to him. And he learns that he will soon be dead. Interesting story, great movie. And the third one is one that I hear very few people talk about. It's a John Landis comedy from the mid-90s. All-star cast, stars Sylvester Stallone, Marissa Tomei, Don Amici, Chaz Palminteri, cameo by Kirk Douglas, classic American actor. Tim Curry, great actor. Timing, pacing of it's really great. To me, it plays like a play. It's got humor, it's got timing. This is the movie called Oscar, which can be hard to find or hard to look up for, because if you type Oscar movie, you're going to get Academy Awards and stuff like that. Now, don't really find it on streaming, but a little bird told me you can find it on YouTube. And I think it says something about Spanish subtitles, but there's no subtitles. Just go check it out if you want a lighthearted hour and a half, hour 40 movie. Great pacing. He's a mobster in the 1920s. Sylvester Stallone tries to promise to go straight, not be a mobster, become a banker at his father's deathbed. And most of the play or the movie revolves around that day where he's trying to meet with the bankers and, go straight, professionally speaking. Check it out. Love it. It's a quick watch. Not a lot of people heard about it. So that's all I really had. Like I said, if you want any other recommendations, especially books and movies, shoot me a message on Messenger. I'll hook you up. You let me know what you have for streaming services. We'll figure it out and get you set up for the next year or so. But again, congratulations, Brad. 500 subscribers, well deserved. Got a nice prize you're giving away. Hope I win. Like I said, if you haven't, go check them out. I have the link down below. Give them the sub love. Otherwise, I hope you guys are all doing well. And thanks for watching. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Shoot, I had this all scripted in my head. I was going to discuss the books and then say, but don't take my word for it. I hope you guys would get the reference. I was also going to mention, if you haven't read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or any of those books, check them out. You'll know the meaning of or the importance of the number 42. And then after mentioning Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I was going to close out for saying so long and thanks for all the fish. So, take two. So long and thanks for all the fish.